Hi everyone, and thanks for tuning in to XNES's Market Outlook. In this video, we're looking at a possible idea for trading over the next few days, the rationale behind it, and what traders need to be aware of if they choose to take that idea. I'm Michael Stark, Financial Content Manager at XNES, and joining us to give the idea is Stanislav Bernikov, Trading Specialist. Thanks very much, Stan, for joining us.
Hello, Michael. Thank you for having me today.
What do you think then, Stan, is the big idea or the small idea for trading for this week?
Well, September is not really interesting, to be honest, but some technical ideas still might unfold. For example, I'm looking forward for the potential rebound for Ethereum. It was heavily sold off during the weekend, while other markets, fiat markets, are stable ahead of publication of interest rate, meaning that American dollar index, Euro USD, they are all stable, but cryptos have taken the big hit. So it would be not unusual to see them rebounding, at least technically, from the achieved low.
Mm-hmm. And what's the rationale, do you think, behind that possible move upward by crypto, specifically Ether?
Well, of course, we have the J. Powell effect, which might be still in place. Press conference of Federal Reserve will be on Wednesday, and when that happens, usually assets receive some optimism. Cyclical assets, stocks and cryptocurrencies. Well, that might not last long, but when he speaks or when markets are preparing for the press conference, usually nobody sells off cryptos and stocks, so the technical rebound probably will be possible because there would no heavy selling ahead of Fed.
Mm-hmm. And can you briefly describe for us, Stan, the emphasis is more on the press conference than on the statement itself, but can you just describe briefly what are the expectations, what should traders be aware of around the time of the Fed's meeting?
Sure. So the consensus is 3.25%, which is a three-step hike. 80% of traders are aware of that. We've seen some rise of hawkish expectations, but they have corrected a little bit. So probably we won't have any surprise here in terms of number of hikes. There would be 3 hikes, but the most intrigue will be associated with the press conference as usual, because investors are now not aware of the inflation. They don't know whether inflation will rise or stop, what Fed will do, because this is kind of a unique situation. The Fed cannot raise interest rates for very sharply, because the amount of debt in the United States is still massive, so they cannot raise it because we have municipal debt and government debt, which will be kind of expensive in terms of high interest rates. So the Fed is kind of locked between some alternatives. None of them are really good, and they cannot be really hawkish. So let's hear what Jerome Powell says. That's really interesting for me. I will be watching the press conference.
Mm-hmm. So in summary then, the possible idea for trading this week is buying Ether, which might bounce after quite a strong decline, possibly test up to around 1,450. And the rationale behind that is the general decline by most cryptocurrencies since the weekend, and now in the lull before the Fed's meeting, they might well recover, which is something that typically could be expected. And what traders need to be aware of is, of course, the Fed's meeting, but within that, most importantly, is the press conference of Jerome Powell and the possible Powell effect. So thanks very much, Stan, for joining us and for giving us the idea for trading this week.
Thank you, Michael. Have a good trading week, everyone. Manage risk.